Right, and it's not just, I mean, you're measuring 10% and you're probably doing it in dollars, which is faulty. My dad, he's a little bit older than you. When he came back, he graduated from school. He took his first job with one of the big railroads, earned $900 a month. Now, back when he took the job, gold was $35 an ounce. That means he was making about 25.7 ounces of gold per month as his salary. That's about $500,000 a year as a brand new college graduate with no experience in today's money.
Right. Wow.
And now the average American family is making, like, I don't even know what it is, $40,000 or whatever. And they should, a college graduate should be making $500,000 or $600,000 right now, and there should be plenty of employment opportunities for it. In fact, our economy, because of all the advances in technology, should be so rocking and rolling, and the demand for labor should be so high that anybody who wants a job should be able to find one, because we shouldn't be able to find enough people to do all the work that needs to be done, because we have computer and technology and things like this to make the average worker so productive. But where's that? The average family, they're making what, $35,000, $40,000. They're struggling to get by. Food prices are going up. Gas prices are going up. And where's that? Where's that other $550,000 going? Well, I'll tell you where it's going. Before I flew in down here, ATC routed us around because there were two F-18 Hornets that were flying into Miramar right in front of us, burning $2,000 an hour of gas. That's where their money's going. You want to know why you're struggling? It's because they're flying around the world, bombing things, blowing things up, taking your money, wasting it in all types of uneconomical, inefficient forms, because they have no pricing mechanism to figure out what the market wants from what the consumer wants, and they don't have a pricing mechanism because their pricing mechanism is a gun or it's a boot on your neck or on your back, and that's how they operate. They don't, they're not accountable to consumers. As a small business owner, I think you understand what it means to have customers, and you want to take care of customers, and you have customer service, and you do what you can to meet their needs. That's how a small business owner, that's how someone who believes in operating voluntarily as opposed to coercively operates. And the governments around the world have shown that they are only good at destroying wealth, and the degree to which they have destroyed the average person's standard of living over the last 30 years is abominable.
Right. I was looking at your website recently, and I was watching one of the videos back when gold was just over $1,000, and at the time you were saying it was going to be headed fairly quickly to $1,300. Well, obviously that's already come true.
Yeah, I was right.
You were spot on. You were spot on there. Now that we're sitting here, in the fall of 2011 at about 1760 today. Where do you see this, going from here? With obviously, we were talking before that, we've had this week MF Global, one of the market makers, implode, and because of what you just said about Europe, we have so much counterparty risk that's going to be exposed and is being exposed this week with MF Global. There's going to be a lot of people stepping away from, I think, some of these obligations in the derivatives market, which, in my opinion, is going to, could cause a potential, waterfall event in the derivatives market. You could actually have the markets could freeze up. We could end up having a bank holiday or something here fairly soon. What do you see coming in that area?
Yeah, it is thoroughly insane, the current market that we're in. Anybody who doesn't have a position in the physical metals, where they own the physical metal without any counterparty risk, whether that's a coin or a bar in your hand or something like gold money, I like them. They're just stupid. I'm sorry, you're just dumb. But it's good for there to be dumb people who make bad choices, because then the wealth shifts to those of us that make wise choices.
Right.
And then the capital gets to be allocated in a more profitable manner.
Right.
And what we're seeing, like with MF Global, this is insanity. They're a primary broker dealer with the Fed, and now they're gone. And people are running to the SIPC. the investment for securities. Are running to the government's investment for securities program, hoping that they're going to get some scraps from the government, kind of like people who have bank accounts hope that they're going to get something from the FDIC, which they are for now. They've been getting because we have bank failure Friday, and every Friday a couple banks fail. People don't understand that what it's like to have a good hard bank run. My grandmother grew up on a farm, right next door to Sandra Day O'Connor's family. And Sandra Day O'Connor's father, if I understand the story correctly from my grandma, he sold the farm and he took the money down to the bank and he put it in the bank, and the next day the bank failed. This was during the Depression. So, like, that entire family's endowment gone, poof, in one day. And I think he I'm not sure what he did in response to that, but I know it wasn't very good.
Yeah, I don't imagine.
And people don't understand just how fragile the banking system is, because we've got these derivatives. Warren Buffett calls them financial weapons of mass destruction. They're littered on the balance sheets. Everybody's bonuses are paid based on how high they can overvalue these things and how low they can undervalue the liabilities. And so you've got all these assets that are overvalued, all these liabilities that are undervalued, and everybody knows that everybody else is lying, but nobody wants to pull the trigger. And now somebody's pulled the trigger with MF Global, and boom, it's gone. Just like Lehman Brothers.
Yeah.
And who's next? Because Siemens,
Jeffries today.
Jeffries down 20%, and Siemens, the big company out of Germany, they actually set up their own bank and put $6 billion in it because they don't want to be held hostage to these banks. They need their operating capital to run their factories and things like that.
Go ahead.
Oh, and we don't understand. I think a lot of people take for granted how complicated our modern day economy is and how vitally important the pricing mechanism is, because we at the end of the day, it's about Siemens being able to make this little screw that goes in this machine that goes in this other machine that plants the corn so that the truck can take it to the supermarket so that you can freaking eat. The economy is super complicated, and if we're going to survive and continue supporting 7 billion people, and they require 1,500 calories, we're going to have to figure out a way to price things and accurately do it. And I think a lot of people take for granted that there's just food on the shelves. It didn't just get there. And for most of humanity, starvation and famine has been a common occurrence.